All right, today we're going to talk about the three different numbers that I have on my screen. If you look at the numbers on my screen, they all have the same digit. They all have the number 2. But there's a difference between the number 2 by itself, the number 22, and the number 222. The difference is that the 2's are in different places, and the 2's have different values depending on what place they're in. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more today about how to find the value of all of the numbers in each number, all of the digits in each number. So here we have the single 2 all by himself. Here we have 22, and here we have 222. Let's look a little bit more at the place value of all of the numbers. On my screen now, you see my place value chart. Each number has a hundreds place, or a tens place, or a ones place. And they all go in different places. Let's start with the number 2. The number 2 is just a single digit, and he's all by himself. He's the number 2. When we're putting a number in our place value chart, our chart in here, when we're putting a number in our chart, we always have to start with the ones place. We always start right here with the ones, with the single digits all by themselves. We always start with the ones place, and then we keep going to fill out our tens and our hundreds. But first we're going to start with our ones place. And the number 2 is all by himself, and he's in my ones place. So he is all by himself there. When we want to draw the number 2, so we just wrote the number 2, but when we want to draw the number 2, we use little ones cubes right here. So you see the ones have little cubes, the tens have sticks, and the hundreds have squares. Because here in the tens place, they stacked up all these ones cubes. They stacked 10 of them all together to make a stick. And here for the hundreds place, they put 100 of them all together to make 100. But in the ones place, we use little tiny cubes. So when my 2 is in my ones place, we just write 2 cubes. That's how we do the ones place. So we have a single digit 2 all by himself. They have 2 ones, and we have a 2 cubes right here to go in my ones place. I know this is a little bit tricky, so let's do a couple more examples here. I already did my single 2. Here is 22. The 22 has 2 2's. It has 22. In order to put the number 22 in my chart, we start with our ones place. We always start with our ones place. When I look at the number 22, it has a 2 in the ones place. So we're going to put the number 2 here. And now we have another 2. I am not going to put the other 2 in my ones place. I can't do this. This is not okay because I can't have 2 numbers in the same place. I have to split them up and write the number 22. So now we have the number 22, and it matches my example. It has the number 22 here, and we have 22 here. We see that there's 2 tens because the number 2 is in my tens place. So we have 2 tens, and we have 2 ones. So we have 2 ones, and we have 2 tens. Now we can draw my picture of 22. We're going to use cubes here for my ones place. We always use cubes in this one. Here's a reminder. We always use cubes. So how many cubes are we going to draw? 2. We're going to draw 2 cubes because we have 2 in the ones place. And we have a 2 in the tens place. So how many sticks are we going to draw? We're going to draw 2 sticks. And they don't have to be perfect. My sticks are not perfect either. So we have 2 tens, and 2 ones. And I drew 2 sticks, and I drew 2 dots because we have 2 tens and 2 ones in the number 22. Let's get rid of all of this. And let's do some other examples. So we did the number 22. Now let's do the number 222. That was in my example from earlier. So now we have 222. We are always going to start with our ones place. That's just the easiest way to start. Let's always start with our ones place. So let's look at the number that I have in my ones place. We have 2, and then we have a 2, and then we have a 2. So let's start with my ones place. I have the 2, and now I have to look at my tens place. I have a 2 in the middle, and I have another 2 all the way in the hundreds place. So now I have 2 hundreds, I have 2 tens, and I have 2 ones. 222. That's my number. I have 222, and in the number 222, I have 2 hundreds, 2 tens, and 2 ones. Now let's draw the pictures for each one. Remember, in this place, we always use little cubes, so we have 2, because we're going to do 2 little cubes. Over here, we use sticks. For our tens place, we always use sticks. So how many of them am I going to draw? 2. I'm going to use 2 sticks here. And now we have some squares for my hundreds. We're going to have some squares. And how many squares am I going to draw? 2. I'm going to draw 2 squares because I have 2 hundreds, so 2 squares for the 2 hundreds. I have 2 tens, so I have 2 sticks because I have 2 tens. And I have 2 ones, so I have little cubes for the ones place here. So I have 2 hundreds, 2 tens, 2 ones. That makes the number 222. I'm going to grab my handy dandy eraser now. And I'm going to erase all of this so that we can get to our next example. All right, let me grab my marker again. Now for our next example, we just did this one. For my next example, I see the number 37. That's the number I see here is 37. I'm always going to start with my ones place. That's just the easiest way to start. Let's always start with my ones place. I have the number 7 in my ones place here, and then I have my number 3. So I'm going to draw my 7 here. I'm going to write my number 7, and then I'm going to do the number 3 in my tens place. Remember, I can't put 2 numbers in the same place. I have to split them up and give them their own place. Now that I wrote the number 37, I know I have 3 tens and 7 ones. Now I can draw the pictures for each of them. Remember, the ones place always gets cubes, and how many cubes am I going to draw? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to draw 7 ones, and I'm going to draw 3 tens, 3 sticks for the number 10. So I have 3 tens and 7 ones in the number 37. Let's do some more examples. I'm going to get rid of these here. Let's do some more examples. Now I have the number 86. I have the number 6 in my ones place. We always start with the ones. So I have my number 6 here. And I have the 8 in the next place. So I'm going to split them up. I'm not going to put them in the same place. I have to split them up. So now I have my number 86, and it matches my example for the number 86. And now I can draw my pictures. I have 6 ones and 8 tens. So I'm going to draw 6 cubes for the number 6. Here's my 6 cubes. And I have to draw 8 sticks because I have 8 tens. Here are my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here are my 8 sticks for my 8 tens and my 6 cubes for my 6 ones. Now I can get rid of this example so I can do my other one, and that's my number 86. Now I'm going to draw my number 9, and my number 9 just has one single digit number 9. He's all by himself. So am I going to draw him over here? No, I hope you said no, because I can't start with my hundreds place. I can't start with my tens place. I have to start with my ones place. So my single digit 9 is going to go all by himself in his ones place because we always start with our ones. And now I can draw my picture. I have 9 in my ones place. Now I can draw my picture, and I can draw my little cubes. So I have 9 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 ones, and that's how I draw my number 9. I'm going to erase these so we can go ahead and work on my next example. Now I have 127. I have 127. I'm going to start with my ones place. I have that 7 in the ones place. Then I'm going to go to my tens place. I have the 2 in the middle here. And then I have the little number 1, and I had the 1 all the way on the end. So now my number is 127, and it matches my example, 127. And now I get to draw my picture. So I have 1 in the hundreds, I have 2 tens, and I have 7 ones. So I can go ahead and draw my pictures. I'm going to start with my ones and draw my cubes. I'm going to draw 7 of them because I have 7 in my ones place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 cubes in my ones place. Now I'm going to draw my tens. I have 2 in my tens place, so I'm going to draw 2 sticks here for the number 2. And I have a 1 in my hundreds place, so I'm only going to draw 1 square. So now I have 127. 100, 2 tens, and 7 ones. I'm going to get my handy dandy eraser here so I can get rid of all this so we can work on my last 2 examples. My next example has a 530. We're going to start with our ones place. We always start with our ones, and I have a 0 in my ones place. Then we get to go to our tens place. So we have a 3 in my tens. We have a 3 in the middle here. And we have a 5 all the way on this side. So now my number is 530, and it matches my example for 530. It matches the example, and now we get to draw the pictures. So over here we can use the cubes for my ones place, but I have 0 in my ones, which means I have to draw 0 cubes. So I don't draw any cubes here. Now I have a 3 in the tens place, so I'm going to draw 3 sticks for the tens place, 3 sticks right there. And now I have a 5 in the hundreds place, so how many squares am I going to draw? 5. I'm going to draw 5 squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they don't have to be perfect. But I have 5 hundreds, 3 tens, and 0 ones. 530, and they match my numbers over here. So I'm going to cross this one out, and we're going to do one more example together, and then I'll let you guys go off on your own. We'll just do one more example. All right. Now I have the number 8, and we have a single digit all by himself. Are we going to draw the number 8 over here? I hope you said no, because we never start with our hundreds place. Are we going to draw the 8 over here? I hope you said no, because we never start with the tens. We always start with the ones. So I'm actually going to draw my 8 over here in my ones, and he is all by himself. He doesn't have any buddies in front of him, so he's all by himself in the ones place. And how many cubes am I going to draw for my ones place? I have 8, so I hope you said 8. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now I have 8 ones in my ones place. We'll do a little bit more work with our hundreds, tens, and our ones throughout the week, but I hope this helps to get started on our first activity today.